You've heard it said that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, there's no doubt that's true, but there's some people you look at and you just know they're really hot. I mean, we get one look at George Clooney or Gwyneth Paltrow, and we know that they're really good looking. And what is it that we can look at them and in an instant know that there's something that sets them apart from others? Well, one of the things that we look at, among many factors, is facial symmetry, or the extent to which the features of one side of their face match the features of the other side of their face. And we do this for good reason. There's no accident. We evolved this way. Anthropologists tell us that facial symmetry is actually linked to our underlying DNA. And so better looking people simply have better genetic qualities to them. Think about this, for example, with respect to NFL quarterbacks that you know. Tony Romo, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, my own personal favorite, Cam Newton. These guys can throw a ball a little faster, a little bit harder than the next guy, and research shows us that NFL quarterbacks have facial symmetry that is off the charts. So this makes sense. Well, sociologists latched onto this idea, and they investigated facial symmetry of defendants in the courtroom. And what they found was those with high facial symmetry actually received harsher judgments than those with low facial symmetry. Apparently, we as a society hold those with high facial symmetry to a higher standard. Well, my name is Brian Connolly, and I'm a professor here at Auburn University. And with my doctoral student, Matt Herschel, we decided that we wanted to investigate how this phenomena took shape among organizations. Matt scoured the internet, and he collected data on CEOs from large publicly traded companies over the past 25 years, and we collected that with other information about how the CEOs ran their companies and things that happened within and between those firms during those years. And then we brought in one of our new analytics professors here at Auburn University, Dr. Kangbot Lee, and he helped us really understand our data. And what we found was we were looking at whether the CEO was fired. We found something very, very interesting, is that in a given year, for a normal company, a CEO has about a 3% chance of losing their job in that given year. Now, this is true of attractive CEOs and unattractive CEOs. It's the same. They have about a 3% chance of being fired. Well, here's the interesting part, is that we then looked at what happens in the wake of corporate misconduct. And so in that 1 year period after a firm engages in some kind of corporate malfeasance, the unattractive CEOs, well, they still have a 3% chance of losing their job. So in other words, the misconduct in which they engaged, that didn't affect their job security at all. They were going to be fired or not going to be fired, regardless of whether they engaged in misconduct. Now here's the kicker, is the attractive CEOs in that 1 year following corporate malfeasance, they had a 21% chance of losing their job. So in other words, we as a society, as investors, as shareholders, as boards of directors, are holding the attractive CEOs to a higher standard than the unattractive CEOs. And in fact, if you carry this analysis out 2 years, what you find is that for the unattractive CEOs, they still just have about a 5% chance of losing their job in the wake of corporate misconduct. It's not much of a difference. But for the attractive CEOs, the chance of them being fired within 2 years of misconduct jumps to 70%. So these guys are shown the door after they engage in corporate malfeasance. This is an interesting finding that we're really excited to be able to share with the business community. That's one of the great things about being at a research institution like Auburn, is that we get to conduct research that drives business thought and practice. And you're not going to find this stuff in any of the textbooks yet. Our doctoral student, Matt Herschel, is going to be presenting it at our most prestigious international conference, the Conference of the Strategic Management Society, later this year, and we're currently preparing it for submission to the Strategic Management Journal. We'll keep you posted on our progress, but for now I hope you've learned a little bit about how we assess beauty and how we judge those that we deem to be more beautiful, sometimes whether we know we're doing it or not.